Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again thank you for stopping by. So this video is completely different from what we normally do. I've got my hands on something mega cool and this video is just about sharing it with you. But more importantly, trying to get some feedback on the history of this. So straight off the bat, we've got a new inbox 88 Avante, which is so cool. This is not something I was looking for. This kind of found me. And it's not really for YouTube, this is more for the Facebook group. But I just thought I'd share it with you guys who are you YouTube guys, because I think this is really worth having a look at. So in this video, what we want to do is I'm going to show you the kit in detail, because this is a true time capsule. This is 31 years old, new in box. It's got some differences from the standard kit that you would think the original 88 was. So I want to go through the little subtle differences, and at the end of it, I want to put in my opinion, I want to put an argument forward why I think this particular kit is more collectible than the standard 88 Avante kit. So we're going to get a little bit nerdy, but this kind of stuff interests me now. It never used to, but the more you look into the individual kits, I just find it to be quite interesting. So let's have a look at this kit. So straight away you can see the condition of the box. It's absolutely tip top. There's a couple of creases, but you know, nothing no damage on it. The absolutely quality Avante box art is just stunning to look at. It always amazes me, these kind of finds. You know, it's 31 years old, and to have remained in this condition, it's just absolutely class. First thing I want to show you are these stickers on the box, because this is where it differs from the standard kit. So as you can see, this box differs. It's got 3 stickers on, 2 of these nasty yellow ones. It says, note, motor not included, this is a special race vehicle, install a motor of your choice. And on this one, note, motor and motor tools not included. And then it's got it in some different languages. So this is an Avante kit basically without the Technigold motor and the Technigold motor tools, which I'll show you as we open it up. So it's interesting that they call it a special race vehicle. So before we get into the nitty gritty of what I'm sort of talking about, let's have a look inside the kit. Well, look at that, that's not something you see every day, is it? When Tamiya did the 2011 Avante, they copied the packaging from the original, which I thought was a great touch. But back in the day, the majority of Tamiya kits came in this kind of packaging, which is just second to none. I mean, Kyosho did the same, and I think it's a shame they don't continue to do it. I understand why they don't. It's not cost effective, but to open a box up and to see all that is just stunning. Let's have a closer look at what we get. As you can see, starting at the top left, the mega rare first edition uprights. I'm going to speak about that in more detail because that's mega important. Bearings, chassis and top deck, all the links, shocks, springs, and then in the middle section we've got the shell under tray and some gears, and then in this pack, wheel hexes and all the running. Hope you can see that because of the light. Clutch plates, bearing set. I mean, how cool is that? Going down to drive shafts front and back, drive couplings. Now here's the interesting part. This is again where these 3 sections, the kit differs from the Avante one. So obviously it says please purchase motor separately. So this is where the Technigold motor would have been, and then you had your spring removing tool in this section, and then your brush spreader in this section. So again, that's where that kit differs. So let's just open these boxes up and see what's inside. So as I say, centre section, we've got the original shell with a mega soft plastic. It's a real giveaway, but it's original. As I say, the gearing, some shock pieces. Just put that back in. So when we take the centre section out, we see we have some original paperwork, which I want to show you because this is mega cool as well. But we'll do that at the end. So in the first box we have the manual, absolutely pristine condition. Now I want to talk about this code as well because that's quite important. Just open it up gently. And you can see we've got the wheels, tyres, screw sets, the wing. See the tyres have got those marks on, which they do come off. That just shows the age. Really hard rubber as well. So cool. Just put this back gently. And then in this one we have decals underneath, still sealed, which you would expect. The old Weber and K&N decals. That's pure class. And then in this box we have the tyre forms, the driver section, and then just basic plastics, all the plastic parts for it, cam locks, things like that, bumpers. Just put this back so I know where it all went. So apart from the manual and decals, this is the other paperwork that were inside the box, and there's some mega cool stuff here. So you've got an ad spec sheet just telling you the different ad spec systems available and CPI units. Excellent. And then we've got, what we've got here, Tamiya flyer. Now with Tamiya's 4th finishing age, your model turns into a masterpiece. It's a painting guide, marker pens, paint pens, brushes, super cool. Tamtech flyer. Never been into Tamtech, but I know a lot of people are. And then we've got some MRC paperwork, which MRC were huge back in the day. Model Rectifier Corporation, New Jersey. Not too sure what this is, but it's just so cool having this kind of paperwork with the kit. I want to show you this MRC last because that's the coolest thing. Business reply card, again from Model Rectifier Corporation, New Jersey. And then we have the Tamiya radio controlled spares list. These are really cool. You can spend hours looking at these things and all the parts that you used to get, all the body kits and tyres and things. Try not to crease it. It's lasted this long, mint. And then we've got, what's this, Tamiya catalogues, 959 there, looking splendid. Look at that. Pure class. MRC Model Club of America. Look at this, membership application form. How cool is that? That is so cool. Helpful hints, proper handling of battery operation, and then Model Rectifier Corporation order form. That's cool. Wow, look at that. Parts and part numbers for everything. And then finally, this MRC Radio Control Products book. Let me just put the camera down a little bit because this is mega cool. Just show you, it's just full of Tamiya artwork. A little bit of a crease, so I'm going to have to get that somewhere flat. But as you open it up, you just start to see these things. See if I can get it all in shot for you. Grasshopper. Hornet. This is such a cool little booklet. Falcon. Fox. Striker. Frog, Wild One. Blackfoot. Monster Beetle. 959. It's just like a mini guidebook. Boomerang, super short, big wig, bruiser, road wizard. What's this? Charting the performance, options, different wheels, count motors. Just super cool. So what an absolutely cool little bundle of paperwork that is. I didn't expect that when the kit arrived, I have to say. Oops, just put that back in. So mega cool. Right, so that's the kit. Let's have a look at the manual now and the other changes. So here's the nerdy part. Tamiya, for many reasons, have done slightly different kits back in the day, vintage wise. A couple that spring to mind. Porsche 959 started life as the Rothmans version, and then it moved to the racing version because of the licensing agreements, I believe. Same with Clodbuster, original Clodbuster, Chevy badges, then the second edition without the Chevy badges. Tamiya Thundershot, standard kit back in the day, but they also did a ready-to-run ad-spec version, which is, you know, super rare. So Tamiya have always done these little changes. So this is why this one interests me, because first thing I did was I knew they did an Avante kit without a Technigold, but when I started going on Google and I wanted to, and this is where I want your feedback, guys, if you know more about this, because I'm by no means an expert on this, but trying to dig out information on the Tamiya timeline of things can be very difficult. There's not a lot of information out there. I've got a decent sort of knowledge of first edition Avantes and then the second edition. So when I went onto Google and different forums and asking about the Avante with no motor, reading between the lines, it seemed like most people thought that this kit was like an afterthought. There possibly was a surplus of kits, of Avante kits, and they weren't selling well, so they took the motor out to make it slightly cheaper. And that I must admit, that sounded fair to me until I've dug a little bit deeper. So the thing that blows that out the water for me is, and makes that not true, is the first thing I checked when I got this kit, this is actually a first edition Avante. So this is the very first batch of 88 kits, which to me means it wasn't an afterthought because it had a load of kits lying around. Obviously they call it a race vehicle. Now, we all know the Avante came out with the hopes of being a star on the track, and it was an out-and-out racing buggy. Some say that was kind of the first basic TRF, Tamiya Racing Factory sort of kit, which makes sense. So the reason I know it's a first edition is the actual manual it's got the standard Avante code on. Sorry, I'll turn this round, which is 58072, which tells you it's original Avante. But in the bottom corner, it has a code of 0388. So that means that this is a first edition manual. The other code, I believe, and I should have looked at this, I think it's something like 0422, which is the second edition 88 Avante. So basically, in 88, they brought this version out, and things started breaking on it, mainly the uprights. This version, the changes I'm aware of, the box is identical. This, as I say, is a first edition manual. The front cam links on the original first edition only have one nut in the middle, whereas the second edition have two nuts. And I believe there's two sets of screws on the back end that use slightly longer screws because the originals were threading. Obviously the front uprights got changed. In fact, I should have said that one first. The front uprights was the main change because the original first batch were just snapping. As soon as they ran them, they were snapping. So if you upgraded that quite quickly. So as I say, it came out in 88, and reading between the lines, round about 4 to 6 months after that was released, Tamiya changed it to the second edition. So in the grand scheme of things, this, you know, it means nothing. Whichever kit you've got is absolutely super rare. But my point of this being is, this is a first edition kit, and this is my argument to say why this kit, in my opinion, is more collectible than the Technigold version. Now let's face it, we can spend 50, or you could spend 50 to 70 pounds and buy a really nice Technigold motor and get the two tools with it. You could get a little craft knife, slice those, pop that packaging open, fit those three items in, seal it back up, and you've got the Technigold version. But my point is, as an out-and-out Tamiya collector, which I'm not, this is why I do believe that this kit is more sought after than the original, because unfortunately we don't have the numbers of how many of these kits were released. But as I say, I keep harping on, because this is a first edition, means this kit wasn't an afterthought at all. This was aimed at the racers, because let's face it, the changes that the racers made straight away when they got hold of Avante was they weren't going to run the Technigold motor. They were putting other manufacturers better, more efficient, quicker motors in. They took the wheels and tyres straight off, put their own versions on with narrow fronts on. So it was all things like that. So I find that very interesting. So there we have it, one very, very seriously piece of cool kit. So as I say, guys, any of you Avante experts out there, if you've got any feedback on this edition of the car, please stick it in the comments, because I'm always open for learning new things. But in my opinion, given what I know, given it's a first edition, as I say, I don't think this was an afterthought by Tamiya, which makes this, obviously I would have imagined they made less of these kits than they did with the Technigold, and in that case, why I believe, in my opinion, that this is more collectible. Again, just my opinion, but very super cool to see one in the flesh, as it were. Anyway, I'll shut up. Thanks for watching, guys, it's really appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us for our weekly content, that'd be amazing. And most of all, if you could smash that notification button for our weekly videos. And as always, guys, happy RCing.